Hello, everybody. We are joined by Tamisha Civil, candidate in the Democrat primary for Massachusetts Governor's Council. The Democrat primary election is on September 3rd. Tamisha, how are you today?
How are you, Tom? Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and talk to the community as well in Hopkinton.
Absolutely, and I think this is a great opportunity for people to get to know a little bit more about the Governor's Council.
Absolutely.
So on that note, for those who may not know, can you explain the primary role and responsibilities of someone in the Governor's Council?
Absolutely. So the Governor's Council are councils that nominate judges to sit on the bench, but they also nominate parole boards, members, clerk magistrates, and they do pardons and commutation and other official positions such as notaries and justice of the peace.
Excellent. And to help voters get to know you a little better, can you talk about your professional and previous political experience, and ultimately what made you decide to run for the Governor Council?
Well, I'm a mom first. I'm a public servant in the community. I work as an associate probation officer out of the trial court of Massachusetts. I have a master's degree in criminal justice and leadership from Northeastern University. And, I spent decades of working alongside of judges, police officers, clerk magistrates, police officers, police prosecutors, and the assistant district attorney's office. I worked for the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office as well. And I also work with a domestic violence shelter that services women and children who have been impacted by domestic violence. That is my experience. I ran before for political office twice, in 2020 as well as in 2022. We know that it's hard to beat an incumbent, but I was running as state representative within my district, and I was running against a state representative that's been in office for 30 years. So I have some political experience, but since this district for Governor's Council is open, it is the reason why I'm running, based on my experience, my personal experience, as well as my career, working alongside judges every day. I work in different courtrooms within the last 10 years. I have worked in juvenile court, veterans court, substance abuse court, mental health court. This has provided me the experience that I need to run for this particular position.
Excellent. Could you please describe the experience and skills you have that distinguishes you from the other candidates in this year's Governor Council race, and why you believe you're the best choice for this position?
Excellent question. I believe I'm the best candidate because I work with judges 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. So that has given me the opportunity to see the good ones and the bad ones. And what I've learned is that it's a people's court, and we deserve to have the right person in council that understand what that person goes through when they're encountering with the criminal justice system, whether it's their first time or not. I understand what it means when a mom or family member comes in and petitions a Section 35 for a loved one that is impacted by substance abuse, which should be considered as a disease. We need to make sure that judges are not incarcerating people with these diseases, but simply helping them get the treatment that they need in order to be better contributing members into society. One thing I do, I speak another language. It's important to provide resources and access, and judges understand that when people coming into court, they need an interpreter, that they're not just put in a position that they don't understand the legal system, and that they get the services that they need in order to continue with a criminal case or legal issue that they may have in the community. And also I work with the Assistant District Attorney's Office as well as police officers. These individuals make the courtroom go into business. They make the courtroom go round, and I am part of that as well. I have gained experience working as a victim witness advocate with the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office, where I help seniors that has been exploited financially by either a power of attorney or loved one or family friend. We need to protect our seniors and to make sure the judges that we nominate understand the signs when people are being exploited. I've worked in I refer our veterans who have given their lives to serve and protect our country, resources to get into or refer them into Veterans Court to make sure that we are preserving their record, but that the judge understands that there are contributing factors to certain things that people do that has been in services, in our service or servicing our country. And we want to make sure that we're helping them, providing them the assistance. So I've worked in several different courts. I've worked with people all from walks of life. I understand the pain and I understand what people go through when they don't understand what's going on. I understand that it is important to service those in our community when they come in contact. And it's important that judges know that people need help. And it's not always incarceration. We do need to hold those accountable, but when we have people suffering from mental health, we have people suffering from substance abuse, we are providing them the treatment programs that they need in order to make sure that they're contributing members. And I'll add this to it. I'm an associate probation officer, as I stated earlier. My job is to make sure that the conditions and the probation that the judge gives someone, that they completely and successfully complete that condition of probation. And I am responsible to help that person complete that so they can go back into the community safely. We just need to understand that what it means when a man or a woman comes in to court asking for a restraining order or harassment order. We need to understand that it's important that, if you find yourself like my family did at one point, where my cousin was incarcerated for a criminal charge that he did not do for 27 years, and he was exonerated from all the charges in the city of Boston in 2021. We want to make sure that that doesn't happen again. We do not want to repeat history. We want to make sure that everyone who encounters the judicial system, that the judges that they're standing in front of, they're getting the respect and that they're getting the just and justice that they need.
Right. If elected, and you talked a little bit about this, but if elected, what are your goals will be part of the Governor's Council?
Well, first of all, when I get elected, my number one goal is to make sure that judges understand the community that they're looking to serve, in that they've worked in organizations, that they understand what mental health is, what the impacts of our servicemen as veterans go through in order to get back into a different environment in their community. They understand what substance abuse is, that it should be treated as a disease and people should not be incarcerated for a disease. Nominating judges and making sure that we are seeking to have them know and have judges be impartial and apply the law fairly. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that they understand it's a people's court, that they understand what people are going through.
Right.
And I see it day in and day out. We want to make sure that we get qualified judges that have the experience and that understands they are there to help people.
Absolutely. Can you talk about the most important political issues or causes to you and anything you have done previously to help address those causes or issues?
Sure. I can tell you that I have been endorsed by a couple of people within the district. And I'll give the website later so people can see all the other endorsements. But number one would be I have been endorsed by Governor's Counsel Tara Jacobs in District 8. And she understands what the council needs in order to provide the best service in nominating good judges in our district. So I've been grateful to get that endorsement. 2, I've been endorsement by SEIU Local NAGE 229. I am a union member, so I understand the labor laws and the importance of making sure we're advocating and judges understand the rights of these labor law individuals. I've got the distinction of Mom's Demand Gun Sense candidate. I'm a gun sense candidate that has been recognized by that local organization because gun violence have been rapid in our country lately. And we have great laws when it comes to our gun laws, but we want to make sure that the judges that we nominate uphold that and continue to abide by that to make sure that everyone is safe. Because no one should be targeted violently for what they believe in or how they look and what their sexual orientation is. We need to make sure that guns are not being placed in the wrong hands. And I'm proud to be recognized for that. And also, protecting our seniors. Like I said, I've worked for the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office where I have protected seniors and making sure that they're made whole with what was taken from them, from people financially exploiting them and changing and disrupting their life for something that they have worked long for. And also, I've had the privilege and the experience going to parole board hearings with victims and being there with them emotionally and being there with them physically to help them understand the process of the legal system and how it works, but also helping them understand that they deserve to be here at the hearing to hear what's going to happen when someone is asking to be pardoned. So those are my experience. I've been in the community. I work side by side with judges. We want to make sure that we uphold the law and to make sure that we are nominating great judges in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, as well as representing District 2 in a way that aligns with our principles and values.
Excellent. And so if anyone would like to learn more about you and your campaign, do you have a website or any social media that you're on?
I do. My website is www.tamishacivil.com. I'm also on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. And I'm also on Twitter. So you can find me there. And, I'm running a grassroots campaign if anyone would like to continue to support me because we are dealing with 37 towns. So I'm running a grassroots campaign. I welcome any donations and support to help me win to the finish line to become the next governor's council in District 2.
All right. Well, to wrap things up today, we're going to give you a minute or two to make a final statement to the voters and why they should vote for you.
Thank you.
So go ahead.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for all who is tuning in the Hopkinton Community Cable. I've worked with judges every single day. I work with police officers. I work with criminal clerk magistrates. I work with assistant district attorney's office. And we need someone in the governor's council that is going to represent District 2 in a way that people understand that it's a people's court. I can see the good ones. I see the bad ones. And we want to make sure that we have good judges that will respect our principle and values, that is aligned with our views in our community, that is ethical, and that is going to uphold the law the way that it should. I protect and worked for the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office, making sure veterans get referred to Veterans Court, making sure that people who are impacted by substance abuse, that it's considered as a disease and judges understand that, making sure that women and men who are impacted by domestic violence get the help that they need the first time. We want to make sure that we nominate judges that will hold people responsible as well as providing access to treatment to those who need it. And I am that person for that because I've worked with the community. I'm an advocate. I have more than a decade of experience working alongside of judges. And it's not only my education. As I stated, I have a master's degree in criminal justice and leadership from Northeastern University, but personal experience. I know what it means when a family goes through the criminal or legal system and needs help and may not have the resources to. I know what that means, and I'm that person to help that to make happen.
All right. Well, Tamisha, it was great talking
Thank you.
to you today. That's Tamisha Civil, a candidate in District 2 for the Massachusetts Governor Council. The Democrat primary takes place on September 3rd. Tamisha, thanks again. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you for having me, Tom.